So let's go ahead and add the other components or the sub menus to that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to reuse our arguments variable with another array, and in this array we're going to of course change the parameters. We're going to give it an ID that is going to be about Mercados. Then the second one is going to be our title, and this title, of course, we're going to give it something that is relevant to that, so about Mercados. And then in this case we're going to also call a parent, and that parent is going to be the parent node, which, as you can notice, is indeed the ID of the parent node that we have here. So we gave it parent ID, parent node, and so we're going to use it as a parent here. And then finally we're going to give it an href argument, which is going to go to the Mercados website at mercados.com/about-us. All right, great. And now all we do is exactly the same thing as before, wp admin bar, and call the method add node with those arguments. All right, let's go ahead and refresh it. And now you can see that we have that first menu item just like that. Perfect. Let's go ahead and add the second one just to reiterate our item that we're doing in this tutorial. So let's go ahead and add a group node, and we're gonna give it a class of let's give it an of group toolbar. Of course you can give it anything. So let's go ahead and prepare our arguments. Again, it's an array, and we're going to give it an ID, group-a. Then we're going to give it a parent, and if you guessed that it's the parent node, then you're absolutely right. And finally we're going to give it the argument of meta, and meta is an argument that is an array on itself. All right, and of course here we're going to give it that class that we were talking about. So class group toolbar. Great. I don't think we need that comma. I mean, it's not going to break it if you leave it there, but all right. And let's go ahead and add it. wp underscore admin bar, call add, this time is group, and args, those arguments. If I refresh here, of course nothing is going to happen because groups don't actually show. So that's very important to note and to remember. You can add a group, but nothing happens because those groups are just syntactic. So you can add things to those groups, but they're not going to show up in any way. So that's why actually it doesn't take a title. But you know, understand definitely that it has been added there. So now let's go ahead and add an item to the group. That way we can definitely see the group. And one more time, let's go ahead and use arguments. And let's go ahead and give an ID. And indeed, in this ID, we're going to call it contact Mercados. Then we're going to give it a title, contact Mercados. All right, and then we're going to give it a parent, and this parent is going to be, of course, the group that we just created, which has an ID of group A. And then we are going to give it an href so that when we click on it, it actually takes us to the contact form in the Mercado's website. So it is actually web strategy contact. And that's pretty much it. And now we go ahead and one more time call the WP admin bar object with method add node and with the arguments that we set up. Let's save that, refresh one more time, and you should be able to see that we have now two right there next to each other. Very cool indeed.